So you landed on this video in search for audit your people. But do you really know what to do when it comes to auditing your own inner circle? What are your thoughts on toxic people? Comment below. I'd love to know what you think. In this video, you're going to learn 3 golden tips to letting toxic people go in order to keep a healthy circle of influence around you at all times. Stick around, you won't want to miss this. If you want to create an impact and achieve a freedom lifestyle, be sure to hit that subscribe button and hit that notification bell so that you don't miss any of my future videos. My name is Mark Castillo. Welcome to the Inspire, Impact, and Breakthrough to Freedom YouTube channel. So just to give you guys a brief background as to my personal story. So for most of my life, I somehow have known the dangers of surrounding yourself with toxic people, but I've never really understood it in any depth. I found it hard for me to end friendships with people I once called my friends because somehow I always felt that I was indirectly responsible for the friendship going sour, and I was always left wondering how come my friendships with people didn't last, and somehow I felt responsible for that. To top it off, I even felt somewhat responsible for how miserable my family was, and I felt that it was my duty to mend things right, such as with my mom and my grandma not getting along. And I wondered why surrounding yourself with toxic people was always so dangerous, but I've never really found a true definite answer to that question. And it wasn't until that I learned this one of many valuable lessons from Gary Vee, and it opened my eyes as to realizing the dangers of surrounding yourself with toxic people. Oh, by the way, be sure to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. That wraps that on my personal story. Let's dive right in, straight to the content, into 3 golden tips to letting toxic people go. Golden tip number 1, truth in keeping negative people in your life. People keep negative people around them because they don't know any better. It's very easy to let go of someone who you aren't very close with, but to let go of a close friend and or a family relative, it's much more difficult to do. I remember during the time that I was in high school and throughout most of college that I had 3 friends who I considered my best friends at one point in my life, and I never really realized that they were not very good influences. If you aspire to change your circumstances or your situation, you have to audit your own circle. You have to audit your people. And that includes friends and family. And oftentimes, it can be a painful, eye-opening experience. Golden tip number 2. The dangers of hearing negative people do this one thing. And that one thing is complaining. You know what? Fuck this. I'm getting out. Fuck. Now, I'm sure that at one point in our life, we found ourselves complaining about anything. It doesn't matter what it was. We found ourselves complaining about certain things. And the only people that really listen to us complaining are our core family and our loser friends, who also happen to complain about everything else that's wrong with their life. The people who are very negative will seek out every opportunity to drop their, what I call, their soap opera drama on you. And they'll get a chance to keep talking about their bullshit non-stop. When you hear someone complain to the ends of the earth, chances are you're not going to feel very comfortable around that person, and you're going to want to get as far away from them as much as possible. Now, unfortunately, my grandma actually does this day in and day out, and it's pretty sad. She's always complaining about how there's no money, there's not enough food, how miserable life is, and that's just how it is, whatever that means, and how the world seems to be getting worser and worser day by day, and the list just keeps going on and on and on and on and on. And even me, I've gotten to a point where I just have to remove myself from that negativity because it's just really intoxicating and just not very healthy to be around that kind of person. And I'm sure you guys probably feel the same way as I do with being around negative people. They are an energy sucker. Get the far fuck away from them. Last but not the very least, golden tip number 3. A life-changing solution that makes all the difference. Now, I really was left wondering at one point in my life that there probably wasn't a good way to ending friendships with people or even spending way less time with family members who are just intoxicating as fuck. If you eliminated or spent way less time with toxic people, this could be a friend or it could be a family member, and you replace that with someone who has a much more positive, upbeat attitude, the results are mind-blowing. I noticed the difference when I actually did this in my own life, and it's a very significant life change. I will tell you that. There was actually a point in my life where, again, I was actually surrounding myself with people who just were very intoxicating, and I was willing to put up with their bullshit left to right. And I was always left wondering how come I was feeling depressed and so miserable. And I realized that I was just tolerating so much of their bullshit behavior that it just wasn't really healthy for me to continue surrounding myself with these kinds of people. So what did I do? I made the hard decision into letting those people go. Now, it sounds very straightforward to do, but it must be done. Because otherwise, if you're always surrounding yourself with people who are always dragging you down, not only is it going to make your life miserable, but how are you going to be able to achieve success if you're always constantly surrounding yourself with people who don't want to win? There was actually one night that I did something on my Facebook friends list. I axed out all my local friends who I wasn't even talking to, and I just basically said, bye-bye, I'm gonna go shining on you and axe you out of my life. I really want to keep my circle of influence very tight and not be bombarded with such negativity. And as it is, guys, on my personal Facebook profile, I hardly go on it. I mean, I have it, but I just don't really go on it because I'm just so focused on surrounding myself with much more positive people, people who actually want to win, than people who just want to sit on the couch all day and play video games. You can only love those kinds of people so much. There you have your insight to audit your people. I hope you found this helpful, and you can live by this advice by keeping your circle of influence healthy and implementing these 3 golden tips to not just only keeping our inner circle healthy and clean, but also to improving our life in general. Because at the end of the day, we want to all live an incredible, awesome life, not a miserable one. If you enjoyed this video, go ahead and smash that like button and leave a comment. What are your thoughts on toxic people? Comment below. I'd love to know. And if you want to create an impact and achieve a freedom lifestyle, be sure to subscribe to my channel so that you don't miss any of my future videos, because guys, there is more to come. And if you're interested in learning about what is this program that I'm a part of, head over to the link for my #1 recommended program in the description right below this video. I appreciate you checking out this video. Go ahead and visit the link if you'd like to check it out. I think you're going to enjoy what the program has to offer. By the way, be sure to check out the video in the YouTube card on how to handle the fear of the unknown. And it'll allow you to achieving what is considered by many the impossible. So be sure to check out that video in the YouTube card now. Alright guys, so with that said, my name is Mark Castillo. See you all in the next video. Take care and talk soon.